Hello everybody, my name is Onozasi. You're welcome to Salvation Therapy and I'm super excited to have you here. I'd like to also welcome our new subscribers to the family. Thank you so much. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you so much for your kind words, your comments, your shares. I am extremely grateful. Today's episode is also going to be dimensional, transformational as usual. Today, my guest, Morenikeji, is going to be sharing our story on teenage pregnancy. She got pregnant when she was 18. A journey that she has told, a journey that she has, emerged from, and also there to help people who are on that journey or people who just stumbled on pregnancy and whatever it is that life has thrown at you. So you know that the essence of this story is to help, to heal. Just in case you're a young woman, a young mother, a young father, you are confused, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to do it. Help is here. Don't forget to watch with somebody and share with somebody. And if you're coming here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Enjoy.
My name is Morenikeji. I am a nurse, a skincare therapist, and a serial entrepreneur. I'll be sharing with you my journey, my teenage motherhood journey. I became a mother at 18 plus. I've not shared my story like this before, and it can be quite emotional because I can tell you for a fact, it was not easy. It looks easy now, but it wasn't easy. Having to deal with rejection, disappointment of my parents, disappointment of friends, rejection from friends, hiding from the public, having to deal with all kinds of things, people's opinion, you just had to absorb it. I actually discovered I was pregnant and there was nothing I could do about it. I was too scared to even think of abortion. When I realized I was pregnant, I couldn't do anything. I was at the Federal Polytechnic Offer. I came home, I didn't tell anyone. I lived with the fear for several months until I was 6 months gone. That evening, I remember that evening, my mom had noticed something. She called me into the room. My dad was not around. She called me into the room. She told me to lie down. She wanted to check me, to examine me. And upon lying down, she realized that even before checking, I already had that protruded abdomen and my mom collapsed. I remember vividly how scared I was, the fear of losing my mom because of what I had done. And then she got up and then she started crying. She cried, I cried as well. She asked me questions, I couldn't even speak. She was so scared of letting my dad know. And that's one part for me that I would love to talk about. Women, mothers having to take blames for what their children had done. My mom was so scared. She was even more scared about telling my dad than being scared for me. So she picked herself up, called a friend, she went to a friend's house. There was no phone at the time. She went to a friend and the rest. I had to live with that friend eventually because it was only that friend that could talk to my dad. I became a mother. A lot of friends turned their back. And when they come, they were actually coming to confirm the story if I was pregnant or not, if I was a mother or not. When they come, you could feel there was this intense way they would be looking at me that would make me feel like, oh God, what have I done? I felt like an outcast. I felt rejected. Not many people stood by me, but a few friends and family. And more importantly, after my dad got to know that I was pregnant, well, he was devastated, he was angry, he was bitter, my mom was bitter. Yeah, thankfully, my dad did not have to blame my mom. My mom was bitter, everybody was bitter, my siblings were disappointed. But what did they do? It had happened, and my parents would not support abortion. So they stood by me. They made up their mind that whatever it is, they were going to stand by me. And it was at that point that I made up my mind that whatever has happened now would not stop me from becoming anything that I want to become in life. After having my child, a baby girl, beautiful baby girl, who by the way will be 21 very soon, so you can imagine how long I've been a mother. I remember one evening where, getting emotional for me. Okay. Many things flooding my mind right now, many memories flooding my mind. But one particular event actually nearly made me lose my mind. But it got me stronger. One particular friend visiting and said, what she saw go mo she ba. Oh girl, show you man law school no buy. And then I thought to myself, of course I didn't give her any response, I didn't give her a reply. But I told myself, except my parents were not ready anymore. Even if they were not ready, I was going to do anything to become relevant. And being a child that had, even before I got pregnant, I had low self-esteem. You can imagine how damaging these words were for me. Thankfully, my dad and my mom became my strength. My siblings, my cousins, amazing people. They became my strength, they became my voice. I remember my sister, my only sister, becoming my voice. She would fight anybody that said anything about me. So I started drawing strength from all of these reactions, all of this support. My dad insisted I had to go back to school before my child was even born. Some people became my voice, my sister. Thank you so much. You stood by me. Many friends, well, a few friends stood by me. Some of them were just around to mock me. What still baffles me till today, I don't know if that's the right word to use, because the father of my child actually did not deny the pregnancy. He didn't deny the pregnancy, but we're both young. But eventually along the line, he started acting up, and so he stopped communicating. So it became the responsibility of the girl became my sole responsibility. Even at this, my parents did not stop. They did anything and everything, paying my school fees and paying her school fees until I was able to pay the school fees. It's not been easy. It limited me in many ways. Sometimes you meet guys, you tell them you are a mother of one after you don't see them anymore. Sometimes some friends will despise you, even though they are having monthly abortions. But because you already have a child, you are rated and seen as an outcast. Yeah. But over time, I just told myself, I became my best friend. At my lowest, I would talk to myself. At my highest, I would caution myself. So I told myself, I can be anything, whatever it is, whoever it is I want to be. I can be anything that I choose to be. And so when nursing came, when the opportunity to become a nurse came, I didn't really like nursing. But even before then, I had a dream where someone was telling me I was supposed to be a nurse, and I told the person that I didn't like nursing. Why? Because they wear uniform. Why would I wear uniform for the rest of my life? So when the opportunity to become a nurse came, my mom told me, she encouraged me, being a nurse herself. I jumped on it, initially reluctantly. But when I started, I realized that it was my calling and my passion. I followed it, and from there I've been able to support my daughter. It's not been easy, I will not lie to you, and especially when you want to do some things and then people feel you don't fit in because you already have a child, because people feel this one is an outcast, this and that. And then when it was time for me to settle down to marry her, not many men want to settle with a woman who already had a child. Even though I had a job, I was doing relatively well. I wasn't going to be a liability or anything. But many men were not ready to settle with a woman who already had a child. And when you look at it, it's not the same case when a man already has a child. Most of the time, women will not even consider it, will not even think about it. And so when it got to a point, I told myself, I already have a child. The worst is marriage will not come. I will raise my child and I'll be fine. And if I was going to get married to anybody, I'll marry someone who will love my daughter like he is. Who was going to treat my daughter like his own. So I waited. I had many failed attempts, many failed relationships, and the family was beginning to, situations when you go home and you'll be like, when are you bringing the man? She wants to work her out. And then when he got married, I heard when he was getting married, I wasn't bothered. He didn't touch me at that time anymore because I realized who I was at that time. I wasn't going to stay with someone who didn't want to be with me. So I told them, stop talking about the father of my child. I'm going to get married if I choose to. I am an adult now. I'm going to get married if I choose to. And if I don't get married, I have a child to show for it. And it's not like the child is begging or is roaming the streets. She's in school, behaving well, and currently in the university. So there's nothing you even want to tell me that I was going to listen. Okay. Until I met my husband. God bless you. This man, I told him already at the time, so there's no big deal about this. And from the first time I met him, he started treating my daughter like his. And so I thought, okay, now I'm here. And here I am now. The things this journey has taught me is, regardless of how early you become a mother, you can be anything you want to be. Anything at all. Don't mind the noise. Don't mind those voices, those negative voices. People will talk. People will spit rubbish on you. People will say things, unbelievable things. And the sad part was, initially when I was trying to keep friends who were not ready to keep me. My darling, I want to assure you now that those friends are looking for me. I'm nowhere yet. but I have not failed myself. The worst that can happen to you is to fail yourself. And I'll be talking to mothers and fathers that your daughter got pregnant or your son got someone pregnant is not the end of the world. Truth is, the world will always talk, especially the church. I didn't want to touch this aspect, but the church is worse when it comes to situations like this. The church mocked me. They mocked my parents. They were comparing me with their daughters who we know where they go and how they abort it. But because their daughters did not come home with their pregnancies, they feel their daughters are better off. The church mocked me. People who thought they were righteous, they thought, kind of like, my parents at some point, especially my mom was more affected because some people were despising her because of it. But I tell you, regardless of what, all of this, there will be somebody. There's always that one person that will believe in you, that will support you even though disappointed, that will support you and encourage you. My mom had those friends, Miss Solonini and Mr. Dikairo. I will never forget your good deeds. Mrs. Ojo, I will never forget. Miss Ojo housed me. These people would take me, they would come to drive me to attend antenatal clinic. They would tell me not to be ashamed. I was the youngest at every antenatal visit. They told my mom to forget the shame. They did all of this for me. And that alone gave my mom the courage to face the world, even my dad, because my dad happened to be a disciplinarian. So you can imagine you correcting other children, and then your child is home pregnant, a 10-year-old girl. You can imagine the impact. This taught me that if families choose, even though I don't encourage teenage pregnancy, but if families choose to support their daughters when they get pregnant, there's an endless possibility for that girl to become anything she desires. It is not the end of life. It is not the end of life. And that is why today I have chosen that whatever happens, I'm going to take care of my parents. I owe them everything. I owe them everything. And even my daughter knows, because she understands that if not for them, I probably would have been pushed to throw her away. Because we see parents who throw their girls out because they are pregnant. We see parents who stop sending their children to school because they are pregnant. It's not right. The rejections, can I even count how many rejections? I can't. Friends, we can do better. Some of us do worse things and then come out and condemn. There's a saying in Yoruba, I know my friends who are already having sex at secondary school level. I didn't. And then after secondary school, I got pregnant and I became the sinner, Mr. Jailer. This journey has taught me to be strong, to be supportive. See, if I see a pregnant young woman, there's a way I feel towards them. My heart gravitates towards them because I have been in their shoes, and so when they say anything, I can relate. I can relate to anything. But I did not stop myself, and I didn't allow anyone to stop me. And I did not even stop at this point. I can become anything I choose to be. And I did not settle for just any man, because even though some men were ready, I saw that they were not going to value me. I did not settle for them. You can, as a single mother, as a young mother, you can still get married and be happy. You can still be fulfilled. You can still be anything that you want to be. Don't mind the church. The church is good, but don't mind the church. Don't think about what the church will do and then go and commit that abortion. That's even worse. And the church actually is encouraging this thing, because the way the church will excommunicate the parents, the way the church will excommunicate the girl, will make the girl think of aborting rather than keeping the child. I've always told people, I was able to grow out of hiding my daughter, because for a long time I would meet people and would not tell them that I had a daughter. But I grew out of it, and then with the help of my sister, I would, whenever I see her, even without saying a word, when my sister is around me, there's the strength I derive to tell people that I have a child, because I know that even if you make a face, she's going to kill you. So going out to tell people that I have a child helped me heal, and I realized that I had many people around me who were in the same shoes, but were not ready to tell until I told my own story. Definitely, I've not shared it like this before. It's quite challenging, but you can overcome any challenge. You can. And in my marriage, God has blessed me with another child, a boy, a wonderful boy, a beautiful boy. And the girl is out there, she's in the university. I'm a proud mother today because I didn't give up on myself. I'm a proud mother of a 21-year-old because I chose not to abort her. If you are there, you are a single mom, or you had a child out of wedlock, and you are in a marriage that is making you keep away your child, I pray healing for you, because I know it's not easy. It's not easy. And if you are a young girl, and you have a child out of wedlock, and because you want to keep married, you are despising your child. It's not the best. You're going to live to regret it. My daughter is my pride. She knows that. I'm proud of her. I'm proud to introduce. The worst is you will not befriend me. That's the worst that can happen. At this age, so please, Yoruba says, these children will eventually become your pride. And I want to assure you that you are not the only one in this shoe. You're not the only one wearing this shoe. Some people have taught this part. Some people even have more than one outside wedlock. And they will shake it off, move on, and become whoever they want to become. I have to be honest with you, many times I felt like doing that. Many times, like especially when my daughter was younger, I would transfer aggression on her, thinking, I didn't hate her, but the burden was too much. Having to put my parents through paying my school fees and paying my child's school fees, especially when I was in school. I would transfer aggression on her, but then I realized that she didn't offend me, she has not done anything. She should even be the one I've been angry at me. But my family, I will keep mentioning my family. Honestly, my mom, my dad, I don't know what I will do to pay you guys back. Honestly, I've not even done 1 over 100 of what I have in mind to do for you. Thank you so much for not giving up on me. I know the shame, the embarrassment, the disappointment I caused you, but thank you. Thank you for still believing in me. You could have thrown me out. You could have said no. That day I know you were very angry. I know that you were angry to the point that one day you told me that you disowned me. You disowned me and you didn't send me out of your house. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you so much. That even when I went back to school, you would take care of my daughter. I know it wasn't easy for you at the time, considering the fact that you were still working. Considering the fact that my siblings were in school, there was really nobody around, and I still had to do school runs. I still had to go to school too. I was a child. A child more than having a child. Sometimes when I would do things that you look at me like, are you crazy? You get me all, everything. Especially when the father of my daughter stopped communicating, you tried to intervene. My parents actually tried to intervene until one day, my dad told me, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Like, what does he think he is? Who does he think he is? And I'm glad you did that, Daddy, because I was so indebted to you that I would have done anything you said. Yes, I would have done anything you said. But I'm glad you did that because I have no regrets. If a man does not value you, there's no point. There's no point. Like, how can I be forcing you to take care of your child? How can I be forcing you to if you can't give in little things, how can you give when you become billionaires or a millionaire? Then it's my feeling like I really don't want to, but I don't want to get angry because that anger is going to make me angry. I've gotten over it. But it's annoying to know that you are alive. You are alive. Even when my daughter got an admission into the university, I still told her that, okay, let them know. So they won't say that it's because nobody carried them along and they didn't call back. But God has been faithful. Not for once did I have to run helter-skelter to look for her school fees or say she needs clothes so she's wearing rags. No. Because God sees the intent of the heart and God saw the effort of my parents. It was not going to be wasted. If we have more parents supporting their girls this way, we will have a better society. And if we have less girls getting pregnant, we will have a better society. Because when we talk about premarital sex, as much as I am not morally justified to talk about this, there's less harm when we don't engage in it. It's when you start testing this person that we have start having problems. You understand? That's why young girls of these days, I don't know if you feel I am right to tell you this. Because I even feel I'm not in the right position to tell you this. But I am in the right position to tell you this. Because I've been there. And I'll tell you, if I had not gotten pregnant at that age, I would have been better off. Because it actually, having to take care of a child, it limited me in a way. I could not travel far to study. I had to study somewhere close. That's why I initially opted for UNAD. Accounting was in my line of study. But because my child was even still suckling at that time, and I had to take a diploma course so that during the week I'm at home with her, and weekends I can go Friday afternoon and come back Saturday. So the limitations. Okay, now if you now have parents that are not supportive, if I can say this, me that I have supportive family, supportive parents, and there were cousins that were living with us, and fantastic people. I'm sure that some people who didn't live in the same house or the same street with us would not even know whose child Antonia was. Because everybody in my family were carrying her like anybody that was available. If you are the one available, you are the one responsible for her. Now, if you don't have a family like that, what do? That's why you see girls throwing children away, dumping them anywhere. Not justified though. Because we still have women who have a rough beginning and we still cater for their children, we do anything. Anything. As much as I don't encourage prostitution, some will go into prostitution to care for their children. If they had a better opportunity, you think they would not do better? They would do it differently. And so, for the younger generation, I will encourage you, if possible, keep yourself. Keep yourself till you find that man that is right. And if you find yourself pregnant, well, you have had sex in the past, you can still become a virgin, a secondary virgin. Or if you already have a child, just believe in yourself, care for the child, and be wherever you want to be. You can be anything. You can still become the president of this nation. No one can disperse you, so far you own your story. Until I started telling people I had a child, I would feel ashamed for myself. I wouldn't be able to. I was feeling inferior to my friends. Until I started telling, even the worst is that you don't play with me. I'll tell you, I'm KG, this and that. In less than 24 hours, I've told you that I have a child. And people were just dead. People will ask me for my friends. The friends that stood with me took my daughter like theirs. So these are the issues that a young mother encounter. I understand that it's not easy. Oh, hey, I count myself lucky. My parents were both employed. They were supportive. I had siblings who could help me out. I had cousins who could help me out. And honestly, I will not forget to mention Mrs. Ogunlano, who is my daughter's father's sister. What do I call it now? It's my daughter's aunt. She tried for us. She did. She would send things in a little way until she stopped doing it. And I understand why she stopped. If the owner of the child is not making effort, why kill yourself? Why kill yourself? My daughter is happy today because she had people she could call family. I know that for the first 8 years, I'm sure that she thought my dad was her dad. Until today, she's the closest to my dad, even to my mom. I don't know them the way she knows them. She doesn't call me the way she calls them. Before she will call me once, she has called them 2 times. And so that goes a long way to tell you that a supportive family cannot be underrated when it comes to teenage pregnancy and teenage motherhood. I'm emphasizing the teenage because by the time you are 21, the thinking is actually different. Even the body. And to even think that when I was pregnant, I had to deal with high blood pressure at 18 plus. I wasn't even 19. High blood pressure. I had to take antihypertensive medications. And through all of this, my parents were there solidly, providing me with everything, protecting me. The protection means a lot to me because I had to, it made me come out of my shell. Don't dump any child, male or female. If you're under any pressure, absorb everything. If you think people will not talk, that you are a young girl that got pregnant, you are lying. People will talk, even you consider it now. If you're not pregnant and you find somebody, your mate, your secondary school mate is pregnant, she has not even gotten admission. Won't you talk? You talk now. So just absorb it and make up your mind at that moment that despite the fact that you're having this child, you will become whoever you want to become. It is not an easy journey. The rejections, people you trust will betray you. People will mock you. You will be with your friends, and when you get up, they will say things about you. They will call you names. Even people who do worse things than you. Even people who at that time had several abortions talk about me. I remember one Sunday, the first time I appeared in church after that was my dad was made an alaga, a chairperson at we attend an Anglican church, so a chairperson, and going to the church, I danced. I used to be a member, of course, at that time I was a member of the choir. See the way my choir members were looking at me, like, don't do me. That's not this. Why is she? She come, well, honestly, to be very honest, I was ashamed, but because I know my family didn't want me to be ashamed. I had their support were all around me. It's just like a baby elephant that has the family member around her. Even when you see a lion, you quickly run in the middle, and because you have a strong support system. I don't know if you have watched documentaries where lions try to attack elephants, and then the elephants will cover that baby, and the lions will have to back off. So I had them, and I was able to. But I could feel the stares, the look of girls where don't they even do, they do. Before me, I even started to do my own job. You understand? And some of them did not want to be associated with me. Which I understood. Some of them felt, I should not have danced that way. Even some people who had my back felt, no, I shouldn't have. I said to myself, even if I don't dance like this today, if I choose to be moody, you will still talk. You know, she's ashamed. No matter what you do, people will talk. Even if you show remorse, people will talk. If you don't show remorse, people will still talk. So, and since at the time they were not feeding me, they were not responsible for anything, they were not paying my bills, I just didn't feel the need to handle my emotions their way. I had my fear, I had my insecurity. Don't come and add to it. And we came to God for Thanksgiving, and my parents had encouraged me that, okay, it was time. It was time. Then you can't stay at home forever. You have to go to church. You have to, yes, the church has said a lot of things. Oh, then I remember one neighbor. One neighbor that we had. She's the one that actually told the entire world. She's the one that told the entire streets. And told them that she had even noticed that I was pregnant maybe 2 or 3 months ago. This particular story. When she would not stop talking, even I had a child, my mom had to call her. And sometimes you may have to do that. My mom had to call her and call another friend. And what my mom simply told her was, woman, I know that this has happened. You knew, you didn't tell me. You decided to spread the news before I even got to know. You are not offering any help. You are not adding, you are not subtracting. But why talk? Please, let this be the last time that we hear you talk about my daughter. And I will tell you for a fact that this woman's daughter, I'm trying not to mention names because somebody may be watching this video from their family. This woman's daughter started having sex that I know as far back as DSS1. And she had had abortions before then. I am not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating here. And so, she knows her daughter is wayward, but because they've been able to procure abortions, and because the girl did not come back home to embarrass her in quotes, I am the one that have come to embarrass the world, my parents. So I'm the one that is deserving of being talked about. She actually would talk from house to house until people started telling her, even people on the street started telling her that enough now, enough. You're not feeding this girl. You knew you didn't tell the mother that I think some mothers started feeling like if it was my daughter, this is what she would be doing too. So from that day, this woman stopped talking. So I think you have seen the place of the support from the family. It wasn't easy for my mom to do, I know. I respect my mom a lot. I respect her a lot because of what she had to go through. But my dad was there for her because it probably wouldn't have been easy. My dad is the kind of person that is a no-nonsense man. And then if he stands for something, he stands for that thing. So even family members knew that you don't talk anyhow to my mom. My dad will not have it. So they were not even able to talk in that way. I know that within them they'll be like, hey, short term, changes and that. But I want to ask a question. Is it my mom or my dad that asked me to have sex? Because I still can't relate why parents have to take the blame, why parents have to take the shame. And some of us actually experimented out of curiosity. Our friends were already doing these things. We were even the good girls. Yes. Some of the people that have early pregnancy, they are the good girls. Because your daughters that have been doing this since primary 6, you will not even know, they are experts already. They know what to do already. I know 2 people that advised me to procure an abortion. I was too scared. I was too scared. Thinking of going to abort a pregnancy. And for girls that have done it several times, they feel, okay, since the world does not know, they are justified to now castigate the ones that are pregnant and have refused to abort it. So I want to tell you that at no point will it be easy. At no point will it be easy. Psychologically, it affected me for a long time. I didn't feel like I belonged in the midst of my friends. Like, you know, when some friends around you just start feeling this kind of complex. It shattered me. Even though I would always put up a bold face. Sometimes people who put up bold face are the weakest inside. It shattered me. I wasn't feeling up to a number of things, and even when my mom encouraged me to go for nursing, I didn't like nursing. But because eventually I didn't want them to feel like any option. We're giving you option. You that you have disappointed us, but even though they didn't feel like that, so I just accepted it reluctantly, even though something I already told me before then that I was supposed to be a nurse. And I took it on myself. It has happened. I have that spirit. I've always had that spirit. If something has happened, it has happened. I will move on from there. I took my daughter as my responsibility. I refused I refused to stay where I was. I moved on. After nursing, I did a number of things. I did my post-basic nursing, sending money alone to care for a child. Raising a child, being a single mom is not easy. Especially when the father is not doing anything at all. He's not contributing anything at all. And you are the one to think about school fees. It's been 21 years and I'm actually thinking about it now, like, really, it's been 21 years. And I carry it like nothing is happening. Sometimes you will think that it's easy because some of us know how to carry on without you seeing it on our faces. Some people cannot. The way we cope, the way we adjust is different. And I don't blame people that write it on their faces. It's their coping mechanism. And probably they don't have the support of people that I have. They don't have cousins. They don't have siblings. They don't have parents who are supporting. And they didn't have those few friends of mine that even though would tell me to my face, you messed up. And then another thing I'm going to tell you is, hey, you will have people that you think are your friends, but when you want to listen to your own gossip, go to them. You'll be shocked at the things that you learn about yourself. Like you feel like, really, I didn't know myself this much. All they want is information, and why they are around is to give the people on the other side updates. You will always have them. You always have them. You will always have people who say mean things to you. People who will spite you, people who will compare you to their righteous daughters and sons, people who will tell you that your parents didn't do a good job raising you. They may not say it that way, but you know, there's a way you say, people who would say things, who will feel you can never amount to anything. At the same time, you will still have good people. One thing you should be ready to do that I did was, it didn't take me so long to open my mind to accepting people like that. To accepting that people will talk about me, and then I had to share my story before they share it for me. I'm in the best position to share my story. Nobody should share my story for me. So if I meet you and I tell you I had a child when I was 18, please, what will you add to it? Maybe you add to it. The most I add to it was like, she was a prostitute at that age. Well, I've told you already I have a child. If you are telling the other person, the person will tell you, I already know, she told me. So you even have less gist to talk about. And I think a reasonable person would think, for her to have told this person that she has a child, she probably has told the child the person more. You will always have those people. And I will not keep talking about the church. Major bodies especially need to do better. You know, when we have Bible studies in our church, Sunday schools, there's a way I try to, when I have to contribute to things relating to youth, you can't rule out the fact that the church does more harm than good. Yes, the church is a place where moral standards are taught and all of that. But when you say that a girl that has gone wrong does not have a right to belong in the choir, does not have a right to belong among you, you won't even allow them to play with your children. What are you preaching exactly? You just told your own children that if you accidentally get pregnant, don't even tell me. Meaning that they are going to turn to the other option, which is procuring an abortion. And then, if you send me into the world, if you don't give me love in the church, I'll go into the world. And the people of the world are always very ready to love. They have been there, or they have been near that experience, so they understand, they can relate, they will feed you. Even though they will want something in return, they will feed you, they will help you, they will do. And so the church has lost that girl. I think we need to do more. If we find somebody, a youth that is derailing, or that will feel has disappointed us, counseling, love, maximum love at that time. Let me tell you, by the time you even show her love, is when she will feel ashamed the most. Because she'll be like, look at all my mates, they are not like that. And even making her come to church to join that, by the time my child is crying, she's sorting this, she's sorting that, her breast is half out, and everything. Other girls will not want to do that part. How about grooming that girl to a point where she can talk to other girls from a point of view, from the challenges she's been through being a young mother, because it's not easy. See, motherhood is something you plan for. But for a girl that got pregnant at 18, what planning? She's still supposed to be in school. She's pregnancy is not something that is next on her agenda. And then she gets pregnant. She's not prepared for it at all. She's a total mess. Psychologically, financially, she's not ready. Even her body is not ready. Her body is not ready. The things that I went through, the changes that I went through in my body, I didn't have understanding. The day I was supposed to go and have my baby, I started stooling in the morning. I started stooling overnight. And I went to toilet about 6 times. And the only thing that occurred to me was to go and use my gym. So when my mom came in the morning, I told you I was living with a family friend. When my mom came in the morning, I said, you were stooling. She called her friend. Her friend said, let's examine her. I didn't know. And by the time they examined me, they realized I was ready, almost ready. But if I was a 27-year-old, 29-year-old, 32-year-old, I probably would reason differently. Oh, an 18-year-old, tell me. I was even if I was ready and I didn't have money, I wasn't even financially ready. I wasn't working. I was supposed to be in school. The father of the child said, "Now student, the two of us now students." And you are not giving them support. Family is not giving them support. The church has thrown her out. Where does she go? How about housing them? By the time you are showing love to them, If you show that girl love, you'll be able to correct her. She will listen to you because you are the only one showing her love in the world. Maybe you are the sibling, you are the sister, you are the parents, or you are even a stranger. Or if everybody is saying, get out, you're an idiot, you're a prostitute, you're this, you're that. I heard those words. They are not easy to absorb, really. People will call you names. People who are actually prostitutes will call you names. They'll call you names. And there's so much people can take. In a country like ours, where it's not even easy for people who are working, let alone someone who is not working, does not have any source of income, and has a child. So in this kind of setting, I think all the girl needs is love. Even if she cannot go back to school, maybe because of financial constraints, she can be anything. She can start doing things that can help her life. You can offer her a job. Don't totally write her out. Even if it is to help you do some chores and you pay her, that can do a lot for a child. If it's feeding, she can at least make the money for. She will know that at least, yes, my child can feed. And for you, that girl, don't give up. Don't give up just yet. It may be very difficult. It may be very hard. But your mindset will affect the outcome of your life. If you think you can end well, you will not end well. But if you feel the future has something big in store for you, the future really holds something big in store. And if you are not sure of your future with that man you're pregnant for, please don't force it. Don't force it. You don't have to get married to him. You can still live a happy life getting married to another person and not make your child's life miserable. Because we see children who are brought into unhappy marriages. They are the ones that will suffer. Children will suffer. I don't see any reason why you should get married to someone who don't love your child. There's no reason. Why? Why would you want to do that? Because you end up being unhappy. Each time the man lashes out at your daughter, it will pierce your heart. And then you have a child who is toxic, who is unhappy, who is miserable, who grows up to be unbothered or like insensitive because she has seen it all. She feels nobody cares, she feels nobody loves. No matter how much love you show at this point now, since you are putting her under the roof of somebody who doesn't love her and she has nowhere to go, she will grow up without love. She will grow up to become a child who cannot love. But if you take your child seriously, you have brought her into this world, she should be number one. That's in my own opinion. She should be your number one. She should be factored into all your decisions. She should be factored into every step you take. Because the step you take will either make or mar her. It will either boost her esteem or shatter her. So if you are marrying someone who ends up abusing her, maybe sexually or physically, well, how are you going to manage it? And some women still keep quiet, even in the face of this. If it is not, I don't know, I still feel, yeah, I'm married, though. You may say that it's not right for me to say this. But I'll say this to you, that marriage is not compulsory. Marriage is not compulsory. If you must get married, you must be happy in it. I don't know why happiness cannot be an option. It is the only option. It is the only option. You have a partner that you can share your challenges with. You can share your joyful moments with. You can share your low moments with. What's the point? There's no use. And so you are bringing a child. By the time you even have other children, the man now starts treating the children, his own children, like they are superior. You know what you are doing to that girl or the boy? You're damaging him. Please and please, for every mother, please and please, just try. See, I'm Morenikeji. I know it's not easy, but just try. It is rewarding. When you do it, very rewarding. Very rewarding. I can tell you that sometimes my daughter saves up little money and buys little things for me. Why do you think she does that? She sees the effort. She sees that she's a priority, not an option. She is a priority for me. I brought her into the world now. She didn't do anything. She was generally resting with Baba God now. Then I said, okay, come. She's my total, she's my responsibility. And so if you do it, it is quite rewarding. You won't regret it. And then you do it prayerfully too. We can't take away the place of spirituality in this, because we are spiritual beings actually. You prayerfully raise that child. You prayerfully get out of those challenges. You prayerfully outgrow, because the challenges are always there. But to be able to manage yourself in the face of this crisis, you need love, prayers. And for every mother that is doing all they can, for every young mother out there, for every single mother out there doing all they can, I give kudos to you, and I pray the Lord will continue to help you. And these children will make you proud. It is not too late to start. If you have been doing it the wrong way, I told you I've been doing it for 21 years. 21 years is no joke. It's no joke. See, sitting here to share my story, I'm in a place of happiness now. That's why I'm not sharing things, because if you had asked me about 10 years ago, I think the story would have been different. from the way I'm sharing the story now, I'm in a better place now. And I am in the best position to talk to people who are going through this, who are my younger colleague in this journey. Because some of you are actually my younger colleague, and some of you will still be my younger colleagues. So in fact, some of you will be my daughters in this journey. It's funny, but it's not funny, really. So it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. I can tell you, please be open with every man you find. Never hide the fact that you already have a child. If he doesn't know now, he will know later. I've known many homes that had to break because the woman or the man did not tell the spouse about the child they had out of wedlock. It's very important. The worst that can happen is they will not marry you. But if you tell them and they still choose to marry you, hey, you see a difference. Don't force it. You see a difference. Tell them. So when it was time for me to settle down, I was going over there. You'll find some men, and once you tell them, they will be very nice. They will, oh, that's good. They will not come back. Don't cry. Don't beat yourself. Don't tell yourself, I made a mistake telling him. You didn't make any mistake. It's the right thing to do. A child is not something you can hide. We're not talking about you having fibroid here. We're not talking about you having pain here. We're talking about a child. A child who you are going to shatter the image knowing that you are even hiding him or her. And then, what happens to your marriage in the future? The day the man finds out, what happens? Tell me. Is he going to be able to trust him? That man, is that woman, is she going to be able to trust you any further? Please, not because of the desperation to settle down. Marriage is not by force. It is not by force. It is not by force. You can do well without getting married, and you can still do well in a marriage. So the lessons are basically to own up to your mistake. You have made a mistake. Apologize to people you need to apologize to. Apologize to your parents, to your siblings. You have disappointed them. Apologize to people you think you owe apology. By the way, you don't owe everybody apology. You don't owe your friends too, except they are loyal friends. Some friends are like that. Loyal. I can't start to mention their names. Some friends have had to apologize to me for misjudging me, for saying things. Some friends are as honest as that. After saying that rubbish, they now realize that I'm a Delo Shiwa. But some, even till now, forever, they will talk about you like they are better off. Apologize and move on. Move on. If you have the opportunity to go back to school, please go back. If you have the opportunity to learn a trade, please do. If you have the opportunity to learn a skill, please do. Because honestly, even if you don't have a child, you need all of this. You can't, because you are a woman, you just want to live your life to chances. After all, I'm a woman, and when I find a man, he will take care of me. What's that? I, Morenikeji, have been there. I'm better. I am a solid woman. I have not arrived, but I can tell you, I am far from where I used to be. I am a very strong woman. I have won many battles. I am still winning more. And my daughter is proud today because I chose to care for her. You're going to look back and realize that the best decision you ever made was accepting that, okay, this is where I am. I'm going to take care of my child, and I'm going to move and be whoever I want to be. To the mistake. Because some of us actually go back to this mistake. You find they have glorified that thing now. They call it baby mama. Don't be that baby mama. Don't be that baby mama. It's I find that name somehow. I don't know what words to use for it. Nobody should take pride in being a baby mama. I'm not judging the baby mama, but I don't think, because I have been a single mom, I don't think anybody should take pride in being a baby mama. What's a baby mama? So you can start producing and manufacturing child for somebody. You have one, you have two, and even some have more than two. And you are taking pride in it, isn't that? And then you now come on social media and then you start saying, oh, no, nobody should take pride in that. You are a woman. You have self-pride. The way you carry yourself will determine the way people around will carry you. And even that man. Because in the end, it's going to be you telling your own story, your own way. Nobody can tell the story like you. Nobody can tell my story like I am telling them. Many things that my parents don't know. Many things that my siblings don't know. Many things that my friends don't know. There are many nights I had to cry to bed. The hypocrisy is too much. The hypocrisy is too much. I have seen mothers who procure abortion for their daughters, and yet they will come and castigate another child. You're trying to cover up your own. I'm not here to judge whoever procured abortion for their child or whoever has chosen to procure abortion. It's not in my place to judge you. But I'm just saying, if somebody has chosen to keep their pregnancy, please let them. Just show them love. What is that you will not give them money now? But supporting them, teaching them, okay, but you need money, and this is how you beat a child. That alone can help them. And encouraging them that it can be anything they want to be. You can be anything at all. You can still become the president of this nation. And you know, when that girl has peace, the child will have peace. We will raise healthy children. But when the mother is not at peace, how can she raise a healthy child? No, it's not possible. You raise a toxic child and you send that child into the world. She's toxic. You start saying, you raise her like that. And so no matter what you have been through as a young mom or as a single mom, because some actually become single mom, even not at not so young an age. But you know, whatever you have been through, please learn to love your child. Love them regardless. You have brought that child into the world. Don't neglect them. They will be anything. The greatest strength I have right now is my daughter. You know, when I am down, when I'm faced with some challenges, I'll think about how I have been able to do it for years. Being a father and a mother for years with support of my family, and then it's not right for me to give up at this point. No, I won't give up. So I draw strength from her all the time. Don't let it derail you. Don't let it limit you. It can be very limiting, especially when it comes to having a life partner. It can be very limiting. Don't settle for that person because let's settle for. That is my journey. I am proudly a mom of a 21-year-old, and I'm glad to share my story with you. I love you. That young mother, I love you. And I tell you, you can be who you want to be. Anything at all. In fact, right now, I feel like I have not explored my potentials enough. And I think I'm the only one stopping me. No one is stopping me. Not my parents. But my parents are very supportive. Anything you want to do as a child, they will support you. You are the only one that can limit you. It can be anything at all. Okonjo Iweala is the beginning for some people. So you can be anything. That is my story. And I want your story to be better too. It's not a crime to be a young mother. Thank you.